some organic sea salt. That's key. Key lime is number one. Lime is number two. Lemon is last resort. And then you get some olive oil. So you take the olive oil, make sure it's organic, add it to the shot glass. Take the key lime. You can eat everything that's inside of the key lime as well. That's only going to add fiber and vitamins to your diet even more. What else we got here? Oh yeah, you can't forget the cayenne pepper.
That's a big one. You can't forget that.
Yeah, definitely. So go ahead, get you however much you can handle. I've been doing it for a while now, and you can also make this last throughout the day. And then the last thing is going to be the salt. Starting off, you can probably just use that much, a pinch or three worth each time. Start off small, work your way up to 5 or 10 grams a day. That's the recommendation from the French Cardiac Heart Association. And you just voila, get you some distilled water and a water distiller. Run the distilled water through the water distiller, and then put it outside for 6 to 8 hours. Allow the sun to hit the water. It's going to basically energize the water. And then you want to add the key lime. This is the next process after that, is the key lime. And then you add all these other ingredients. And then from there, you basically you can do it all in one sitting, or you can just use this for the next couple hours and slowly sip on it. But yeah, that's basically how it's done, and that's for you.
Well, thank you so much.
For sure.
So exactly what are the benefits of doing this, and how often should you do it?
Like 5 to 10 times a day, basically, and you want to do like 5 to 10 pinches each time.
So like that little shot you just made, or you should do that 5 times a day, like
that.
sip?
You listen to what your body's telling you, 1 to 5 times a day with the olive oil, because when you put all these compounds together, it can be, especially with cayenne, it's very strong. But you start off with at least 1 to 3 times a day. Morning, afternoon, and evening.
So is that clearing out your whole system, or is that re-energizing your system, or detoxing?
Yeah, it's basically getting rid of all the yeast, mold, candida in the gut. And when that happens, you basically turn on the central nervous system, and then you start to get rid of all the autoimmune diseases or issues as well.
Oh, that's great. So Jacob, where can they find you on your other platforms? Just tell them all your platforms where they can find you.
JacobsLink.com has all the links for all the websites. So then TKC is going to be the first link that pops up there. You can go to TKC2.com as well.
No, it's TKC.network.
.network.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. But that's why I say JacobsLink.com, because it already has that listed on the first part. And so as long as you can navigate to that website, you'll find the link to that site as well. And yeah, that's where everything's set up. And that's how we basically set up our information for everybody else.
Awesome. Really, so maybe you can tell everybody when your show is going to be presented every week on the TKC.network and what time.
Fridays at like 3 o'clock Hawaiian time.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all, if you want to come see Jacob do a full-on presentation every week, 3 p.m., you're going to log on to TKC.network. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you download WebEx and WebEx Meeting. The reason we use WebEx over Zoom is it's private, it's encrypted, it's American, and not all of their data is being sent to China, unlike Zoom. So if y'all want your encrypted data staying in the U.S., you might want to consider the WebEx platform. But that's what we use because we're all about living in the private. So Jacob's joined the network recently as one of our new presenters and ministry partners. And let's tell them where we're going to start going, Ashley, on Thursday nights and setting up a booth where the public can come meet Jacob in person, try the salt, meet the Highway Band, meet our True Vine ministry. Tell them a little bit more about that.
Sure. Well, we found this really nice place called The Lookout. And there's basically where you can see the live fire shows. They also have like a wave pool where the surfers can come and do the waves. And then they had a really nice like area where there's all food and sales and just a really nice gathering together. And then also they have it where you can come and check out the band. That's our band, The Highway. And listen to us, and it's just a really nice, like there's just so much to do, and it's fun, and it's
like a real family style, picnic environment where you can bring aunties, uncles. It could be good for
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
like just awesome.
Even
Park
date
area and
nights for
everything.
young people. I saw
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people when we were out there, like on a date, just sitting there with a bottle of
Mhm.
wine and food,
Wow.
listening to music and enjoying the festival.
Mhm.
But they do that every Thursday, and it is in Eva Beach. It's a brand new facility. So we're going to be getting a tent down there, you guys, part of the festival every Thursday night. So if y'all come down there, Eva Beach, to the Lookout, you'll be able to find us. And Jacob will be there. Eric and Ashley are part of the Highway Band
Mhm.
and the True Vine Ministry, where we also meet every Saturday morning, if it's beautiful weather, at Trax Beach, Nanakuli. And we also have a live link for on the WebEx platform on tkc.network. If you look under the Highway Band or the True Vine, it's listed as our Torah teaching every week at 11 a.m. So, Jacob, as you know, everything you're doing with the salt is biblical. Maybe you might want to just share with them real quick how you kind of learned a little bit more about this from the Bible. And I think it's Leviticus. You started putting all the pieces together of what you know about salt and the salt covenant.
Yeah, basically Leviticus is just a book that talks about cellular regeneration, also spiritual regeneration. So, anyways, it tells us to salt every meal, Leviticus 2:13. And so when we start to do that, we re-alkalize or we remineralize our DNA, and we get rid of the yeast mold candida that's overgrowing in our gut instead of our DNA. And that's the main cause of all disease. So when you start using salt, you get rid of all the yeast mold candida. It also increases like testosterone, like more than 5 or 10 fold. Human growth hormone, HGH, all that stuff goes up through the roof when you start using salt, which has 82 plus different minerals, and those minerals are essential when it comes down to creating the aminos and eventually the proteins that the body needs. So start with the minerals from the sea salt, and basically everything else follows through.
So, and also too, I think you know a lot of knowledge about when the salt got started being changed from God's salt made by God that was like good for us to what we have today. Can you maybe just give them a brief overview on why they need to come to your show because they're reading products that aren't really serving their body anymore because they've been manipulated? Maybe you might want to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, so most of the food nowadays is fake, and most of the salt that we see is fake too. And so that's why it's important to use real sea salt. Since the 50s, basically, we've been using fake salt, and that's why all the disease, with probably 70 to 90% of it, has increased and gone through the roof. So when we start to use real salt, basically, all issues of life goes away, and it improves everything, whether it be physical or spiritual.
Yeah, it's such a blessing to know this information. And, it's really interesting how it comes down to something so elemental and so simple that we couldn't see it. Like, right on TV and all the marketing and media, they keep coming up with this is the new thing,
Mhm.
this is the new thing.
Right.
And everything they come up with is so much further away from God's natural creation that He provided everything we needed. And literally, we wonder why we're all sick today, right? So, you've really come up with a key to the basics of getting back to optimum health, which is so wonderful because if we look for the right stuff, right, we can actually start healing our own temple, which is the body of Christ, right? Our own physical temple.
Yeah, salt is like the first step to a healthy diet and basically epigenetics, how food or substance either activates or deactivates our DNA. And so the salt is the key. It's a covenant that will last forever, Numbers 18:19. So as long as we salt every meal and we use 5 to 10 grams a day, basically as long as we solve that magnesium deficiency, the number 2 deficiency in the world, there's no disease that can prevail in the body.
So you said magnesium is number two, but I've heard you talk about a couple other elements that we're really missing in our diet that's getting us sick too. I think you had mentioned copper.
Mm.
Can you explain like a way like that people can start, getting copper back into their body as well?
Beef liver is the number one source for copper in the world. And so, if you can't handle beef liver or you don't want to break or fast that way, basically just getting the beef liver capsules and using 3 to 10 capsules a day, that's going to restore the copper, get rid of the number
Mhm.
one deficiency in the world, which is the copper deficiency.
Mhm.
And it's going to allow, when you get the copper from the animal products, you
Mhm.
allow the copper to be made bioavailable fully. And so, you can't get that from plant copper. And so that's why it's important to get the animal-based liver copper, especially because it's high in vitamin A1 retinol, all lowercase, right? And that vitamin A1 retinol is what's going to allow the copper to be made 100% bioavailable. So doing that 3 to 10 times a day, and then the salt 5 to 10 times a day, it's going to pretty much heal everything.
That's awesome. I'm so
Mhm.
excited that I really hope you guys are excited too to go hit up our show with Jacob on Fridays at 3 p.m. Hawaii time. So that'd be 9 p.m. East Coast time. And you can reach us at tkc.network. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you'll be invited to all Jacob's upcoming, shows and presentations, and as well as the Highway Band and our performances and all the events that we're planning on doing all over. So we're so grateful that you came today. Thank you, Jacob, for joining the TKC Network team and being on the healing committee, because we're going to get a lot of people physically turned around spiritually, mentally, emotionally, everything, right? In Yah's name. So thanks, guys. We'll see you on the TKC Network with Jacob Live with Salt and Light at 3 p.m. on Fridays. Aloha. Aloha. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.
All right.